For dinner tonight, I'd like you to make me some fried chicken. I have to work as well tomorrow, so make sure not to make it spicy this time. But I do want it to have a little bit of a zing to it, so maybe throw a little bit of lime flavoring into the... So no spice and a lot of lime this time. If I can have myself that zing when I get home from work today, I'll be a very happy husband, Monica.
I'm sorry, Brent, but I've already started working on dinner for tonight, and it's not going to be fried chicken this time.
Huh? Why are you not making what your husband wants to eat? This is a Wednesday, right?
Did we decide that every Wednesday is supposed to be a fried chicken day?
Would you put a little thought into things for me, please? Wednesday happens to be the middle of the week, right? And there is only another 2 days left of work before I'm able to have my weekend. In other words, that means I want to eat something fried, and with a lot of exciting flavor to it. That excitement will then leave me with enough energy to get through Thursday and Friday, and I'll be at the weekend after that. So I need to have that zing to my day today, or else I won't be able to make it through my week.
But last week when it was the middle of the week, you told me you wanted something a little more relaxing so that you could have time to calm down and finish the rest of your week, right?
That was me then and this is me now. Why do you always have to bring up the past when we are in the present now?
What?
Alright? You are my wife. That means every day you were to look at how I'm feeling before I head into work and decide what to make me based off that. You better start doing that right now.
Hold on a minute, Brent. I'm working a job myself, right? And that means I don't always have time to think about every little detail regarding you and your wants. If you have something you'd like to eat, please tell me a day or two before, or at the very least on the morning of, okay? But even on a day off, I'll most likely to go back to the store after I finish my work and put even more money that we don't really have into groceries.
You can make time to get me what I want. You barely even work enough hours in a day to make any money, so you have all the time in the world to think about me. You're just trying to be a selfish little brat right now. I have to work full-time 40 hours or more a week, and you think you having to work that small job is going to have me listening to you? Forget it. You're better off just leaving that job and staying home all day to get your real job done. Cleaning and cooking.
I'd really love to work full-time though.
If you started to work full-time, then you'd never be home in time to make me my favorite dinners and get the bath ready for me. You were more than okay living off the money I bring in, so there is no need for you to be working at all.
Well, if you don't want me working anymore, could you raise the amount of money I spent on groceries and the house a bit more? To be honest, with the amount you give me right now, it's a little tough to afford everything. Right now, I'm having to use the money I'm making to balance things out so that I can afford all the things we both need.
Are you a freaking idiot or something? That right there is you telling me you're such an idiot that you don't even know how to balance out your checkbook to make ends meet with what I'm giving you.
Why would you say things like that? I have been putting in a lot of work balancing things out with my money and yours. But I can't just give you the food you want 3 hours before dinner without having to go back to the store to spend more money on buying more food. You have to see that with the money I have right now, the best way to spend it well is to only stop at the store once or twice a week and buy everything then.
But by doing that, you're putting good food to waste. None of it is going to be fresh like I want, and as the husband of the house, I only want to be eating the freshest foods. You are really making a fool of yourself here. And with that, dinner today is going to be fried chicken.
And I've just told you a little bit ago that I've already started making something else for dinner, and that there is no changing what's for dinner now.
Well then scrap all that you've started on now and make me that fried chicken instead.
Well, I'm on my way back to my parents' house at the moment anyway, so that's not going to happen.
Huh? You're going to your parents' house?
Yesterday, my mom had a bad fall and ended up breaking her arm while trying to comfort her fall. We talked about this already, right? And because of that, it's been hard for her at home. So right after work today, I already got dinner going in a crock pot for you, and it will be ready by dinner time. So I'm on my way to see my mom for a bit, and I'll be back home later.
You're going there now? The reason I'm allowing you not to have to work a whole lot right now is not to let you go to your parents' house and spoil them.
I am not doing this to spoil them. I'm going there to make sure the chores can get done for my mom.
Let me tell you this right now. If I get home and my dinner isn't ready and the bath isn't hot, things are going to be bad for you.
I plan to be back home by the time you get out of work, alright?
I'm not allowing you to go to your parents' house today. You come back to our house right now and get back to making my dinner properly and finishing up any other chores you have there. You listen to what I'm saying right now, woman.
What? What do you mean you're not allowing this? I will make sure everything is done properly today, okay? Is it so bad for me to go over and help my mom out a little in the meantime? My mom is living on her own now.
Well, you happen to have an older sister living a lot closer to her house, right?
And this week she's been on vacation with her family because she has time off work.
Then ask someone in their neighborhood to help her.
Someone in her neighborhood? There is nobody living close enough to her out there in the countryside for me to ask to go help her. That's why I'm on my way to her place now. I'm also just worried about how my mom is doing and want to see her with my own eyes.
You are a part of my family now, and you're my wife, which means that my family comes first, and I'm like your king. So that means you will listen to me before anyone else, and will only pay attention to me and my side of the family.
Are you kidding?
If you keep this up, I'm going to do the same thing your dad did to your mom and divorce you.
Excuse me?
If you do not want me divorcing you, then listen to what I'm saying. You don't want to end up like your mom, being thrown away by her husband and left for dead, right? If you still plan on going to her house, I'm going to print out the divorce paper and fill it all out. Now I'm getting back to work. I really hope you can make the right choice and come back home to make me that fried chicken I've asked for.
Mom, how are you feeling? I was able to get those pain medications from the doctor that I asked for. So as of right now, my arm is not hurting one bit and I'm doing fine. And as for today, you are more than welcome to stay at your house, Monica. Are you sure? I was planning on coming there to help you out right now. You broke your dominant arm, so there's no way you'll be alright on your own. But be it as it may, I'm going to be fine. Actually, my younger sister found out about me getting hurt and has to come over to take care of me. Wait, are you talking about Aunt Vanessa? Well, don't call her an aunt like that or she'll get a little upset. She still likes to think of herself as being young and would rather have just called her Vanessa. Anyway, she's going to be here with me for a week. Well, I'm relieved to hear that you have someone there with you then. Actually, when I was talking with Brent about how I'd be coming to your place today, he told me that I'm his wife and that I'm supposed to only care about his needs, and he told me not to go to your house at all. He doesn't want you to come see me? That's a little bit strange for him to say, right? I told him that I've been worried about you and that I wanted to come home and see how you're doing. I'm sorry for getting you all worked up over me. But hearing that Aunt Vanessa will be there with you has made me feel a little bit better about it. She happens to be really good at cooking. Well, she happened to work as a chef at one point in her life. Well, if that's the case, then she knows how to make you all sorts of healthy meals. You happen to also have a lot of things you hate eating, right? Don't say that like I'm a child about it, though. Anyway, Monica, I really don't want to have to ask this, but are things between you and Brent all right? What do you mean by that? Well, we are texting right now, so I'm not sure what kind of face you've been making. But make sure not to overdo things there, okay? If you have something you need to say to him, say it. And if he's going to be rude about something, you don't have to sit around and listen to him about it. And I know that. Times when I've gone over to your guys' house, and times when you've both come over here, I've noticed something. That man never seems to want to do anything, right? It's his own house over there, yet he always has you do everything for him. He tends to act like the dominant husband most of the time. I have not really been around Brent all too much, and so I'm not too sure what is up with him, but men that tend to want to be dominant husband are no good to you. They are very selfish and do not care how they treat you when it comes to benefiting themselves. I happen to have experience of that myself, so don't ignore what I'm saying here. When you were with Dad? Well, that man happened to cheat on me when he was out of the house with other women, and he would rarely ever put any of his money into the house and family, instead using it to go out with them. He told me he could do whatever he wanted with his time and money because he was the man of the house and the pillar that kept it all up. He made me feel as though it was my job as his wife to support him no matter what. That's why you ended up divorcing him, right? I regret it now. I should have done something about him a whole lot sooner than I did. I wasn't ever able to get myself to want a divorce from him, and that's what led you to having to live through more of his crap. And as I was trying to still make up my mind on whether to divorce him or not, he had left the house and joined a new woman. I understand that those were hard times for you, Mom. He didn't even leave us anything, not even a word or guilt for what he has done to us. And ever since that day, he has not said a single thing to us. I don't want something like that happening to you, okay? So make sure you have a plan ready for something like that and make your choice quickly. Believe in what your gut is telling you about Brent. Thank you, Mom. I understand there's not much I can do to help, but if you need anything, please call me. And if you have anything you need me for, call me. But you have Aunt Vanessa with you now, so I'm sure you'll be alright. Just make sure you get lots of rest and have that arm heal up.
Hey, Monica, where are you right now? You have to answer your husband's call before he gets to 3 or else you'll be in trouble, alright?
I'm on my way home now. Did something happen to you?
Huh? You're coming home now? What the hell are you thinking? I'm already at home now.
What? What do you mean you're already at the house? It's only 4 p.m. What the heck happened to you that caused you to be home this early? Did you start to feel sick?
Not really. I was just out on my break at work and was told that I could head home right from there. I guess I had nothing else to get done today at work. So I chose to go home like they said.
You were out on your break when they said that. I thought you told me you didn't really have any breaks there anymore after being moved into the sales department, right?
Well, about that. There's a lot of things going on at the office right now. Now let's talk about dinner.
Once I get home, I'll get right on it.
You freaking slowpoke. I've told you this plenty of times now. I want you home when I'm home from work, and you have to have dinner and a bath ready for me. I'm the one bringing in the money for this house, so the least you could do is feed me and get things ready for me to rewind after my day at the office. Are you trying to tell me you want a divorce?
Why would something like this immediately lead you to wanting to talk about a divorce?
If you don't want to be divorced like your mom was, then you need to stop making me pissed off. Alright then. I'm going to get that paperwork right now.
What?
I don't think you're afraid enough of me yet. I think by having the divorce papers in my hands at all times filled out, that'll get you really worked up about things and make you want to act serious about your chores, right?
You have to be joking, right? Divorce is not something you should be using as a way to threaten your wife all the time.
I'm not just threatening you because I will seriously hand them in. I'm ready for it if you are. With you out of the house, I won't be in any trouble unlike you.
You would seriously hand those in. Are you not even thinking about working together with your wife anymore to make this relationship we have last?
You think I will work together with you and continue this relationship? All you are to me is a simple wife. You have no idea how many women there are just like you in this world.
Understood. Only 20 more minutes or so and I'll be at the house.
Then during that 20 minutes, I'm going to stop by the courthouse and get those divorce papers. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing not coming back to the house for 3 whole days? I told you not to worry about your mom anymore, right? I saw you leaving the house with those big bags saying you were dropping them off at your mom's place. But for those past few days, you haven't come back here to do the laundry or cook any food. Are you listening to me? How much longer do you plan on hiding at your mom's? Hurry up and come back here so you can take care of your husband.
Excuse me, but who am I talking to right now?
Huh? Stop with the freaking BS. You know dang well that I'm your husband.
But I'm a single woman now.
What the hell did you just say?
I handed in my divorce papers 3 days ago, and then I became single again.
Divorce papers?
But you and I had both signed them, all right? Well, I took all of those into the courthouse to be processed for us.
Wait a sec. I never heard anything from you about handing in those divorce papers, though.
But you signed them with me, and you said you wanted a divorce, right?
Wait. But you handing those in without my approval is messed up. I only had those signed by the both of us in order to get you to worry more.
But I wanted to divorce you then, and having you go out and get everything set up for me really helped it out.
You wanted a divorce?
Well, when it comes to a married couple, they both have to work together to continue the relationship, right? But you were asking me to do all this work by myself. Get dinner ready for you before you got home from work, and have bath ready for you. And that last time where you came home earlier than normal and still expected things to be made up for you, and that was the last straw. I know you were only coming home early because they were barely paying you anything, right?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean they barely pay me anything?
You always told me you were the one supporting me with all your money, right? But the money I had to use every month for the house and the food primarily came out of my savings. About 70% of my savings would go into that. And what about the other 30? Well, it had to go to the things like Wi-Fi and a TV bill. I was paying more for the house than you were making from your job is what it seemed to me.
Wait, you're lying, right? I was the one paying for all of that, right?
You think that the money you bring in would actually support 2 grown adults living in the house? From what I noticed, you only put $400 into the house and the rest you spent on yourself. And as for all the money I had saved up and was making part-time, it all went right into the house and nowhere else.
But that's absurd.
But I was still your wife at the time, and I told myself something like that was not a cause for divorce. So I made sure to keep living like that, thinking someday things between you and I would get better and you'd start to care more actually supporting the house. I really thought back then you would actually come around and start helping out again. My parents had to get a divorce and I didn't want as well because I thought that it would really sadden my mom, and that's why I stuck with it for so long with you. I really didn't want my mom to be upset with me, but look where we are now.
If you don't want her to be upset, then take back those divorce papers.
But when I really put some thought into it, my mom is far more sad about me not being happy when I'm around you. That's why I've gone with my gut feeling and chose a path that I won't regret later.
Are you telling me that choice was divorce?
Well, in your case, you don't love me anymore, right? Well, I wanted a new life for myself. One where I can start working full-time again and not have to waste all of my money on a house each month. And I'm sure you wanted me gone as well after threatening me all those times. So see this divorce as a win for both of us, okay? We don't even love one another anymore, so why try and force something that's not there?
Are you sure you're okay with that? You're gonna regret this.
Well, we had been at this for over 2 weeks, getting everything ready for the divorce, right? I already have all my things with me and everything, so you can do what you'd like in that house because I'll never be back.
Well, if you come running back to me wanting to get married again, don't expect a single reply from me. Because I'm not getting back together with you. I don't care how much you regret and apologize for it. I'm not forgiving you. You're going to learn just how unhappy life can be after divorce. I had just come around to liking you as my wife, but now you've gone and ruined it for yourself. And you're really going to regret it. Hey, what does all of this mean? What are all these documents talking about?
Ah, you got those already. I had talked with a lawyer about things and those are the documents you wanted sent to you.
A lawyer?
If you took a good read through them, then you'd probably already know what it is. But they are about the distribution of our properties as well as a settlement I'd like from you.
I can understand things like distribution of our things, but what's this about a settlement? If anything, I'm the one that's been wanting a settlement from you. You gave up your job as my wife.
That's not even something you can sue me or get a settlement from me through, right? I just happen to realize you are an awful person and that's why I no longer wanted to love you anymore.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about that last straw. Remember the day you came home from office at 4 p.m.? You told me you were on a break and then told to go home because there was no more work for you to do, right?
That's what I told you, right?
Well, I was right to trust my gut like my mom said. Because when you said that to me, I had this feeling you had been cheating on me, and that's what led to the last straw and my love for you leaving me. So I went ahead and looked into the things a little more, and you weren't told to leave work early. You took later half of your day off work. You took the day off work so that you could go out with another woman on a date, right?
You looked into that? How far did you go?
Well, it took me 2 weeks to prepare me for the divorce we both wanted, right? And during that time, you continued to go out with another woman while I was at home preparing. I also happened to run into one of the women you've been with. And she happens to be one of the new employees at your office, right?
So this is what's led you to want a settlement for me?
And I'm hoping to get all that money from you as well as half of your savings in one payment, please. When my dad left my mom, he never left the family anything, not a single penny. So I'm doing as my mom told me. And that's getting every last penny out of you that I can before you have the chance to run away.
Hold on a second. I might have been out with some other women, but it was just for fun, alright?
That's odd. Because after I've been gone for the past week or so now, you have one of the girls living in that house with you, right?
What? What do you know about that?
I just happen to have a good friend that lives nearby to the house and they have been watching you since the day I left. And they said the moment I had left and told you about the divorce, you had another woman in there right away and have been seen off by her every morning before you go to work, right?
Well, that's...
But the fact that you are both living together already has helped me a ton. I was able to figure out who she was, and now I can get a settlement from the both of you, since she's been with you while you've been still married to me.
This was all just for fun, though, so stop getting so worked up about it. Are you jealous that I have other women around me that I can sleep with or something? If that's the case, I'll let you remarry me. You want to come back home now? I won't use any other woman anymore, and we'll focus more on you again.
Excuse me? Did you say use?
I started to use them for making food for me. And, well, after about 3 days of that, a lot of them, especially my main girl, would want to go out to dinner and stuff instead. And this one that's been living with me now doesn't even know how to cook. She doesn't even do the dishes either. We've had to use paper plates, and when she does laundry, she'll toss my suit in the laundry machine as well.
Wow, that's amazing of her.
She told me she'd been living at her parents' house this whole time, and she never had to do chores. She said her mother taught her all kinds of things about chores. So I really need someone here that can get all that done for me, like you.
Well, what's so bad about the two of you staying together and both learning how to do chores? I don't want to be back with you for any reason, so go ahead and learn how to be an adult.
No, you have to be lonely, right?
No, because I no longer have to deal with a child that complains about wanting to only eat what they want every single day. Right now, I'm able to use my time for myself. I can eat what I want, do what I want, go where I want, all without some jerk yelling in my ear about it. Being single is way better than I remember it.
You're lying, right?
I do not want to marry you again, and I do not regret getting that divorce one bit. As those documents have told you, I want my share of the properties we had, and I want that settlement from you paid in one payment, please. If you can do that for me, then I'll be able to finally cut ties with you completely.
Hold on, okay, Monica? You and I have been married for a little while, right? Why did our marriage turn into something like this?
Can you take a look at all of the messages you've texted me over the past few months and ask me that question again? Maybe even ask some people around you about what you've said to me and see what they think. Now after this, everything is going to be left to my lawyer to handle, so please talk with him at some point this week.
You want me to talk with him now? Why can't I talk with you? Hey, Monica!
Because Brent had literally spent all his money on things like going out with other women and never actually being in a house with me, he had no savings, and therefore had to take out a loan to pay me. And when it came to the woman who had been living in that house with him after I left, she assumed he'd pay for her settlement as well, but he had no plans of doing that for her, and they got into a fight before breaking up, and she had to borrow money as well to pay me. After having lost everything, Brent started going around to people, showing them the messages he sent to me, looking for people to tell him he wasn't in the wrong. But just when he thought people would agree with him, he got the exact opposite response from them, and most, if not all those people left him. Even now, life for him at work has been hell because most of his co-workers won't talk with him, and he's left sitting in his cubicle all day making the bare minimum the company offers him. But he still has a lot of debt to pay off after taking out that loan and a house to pay for, so he has no choice but to continue working there. And I've heard that recently, he's been starting to work more and more overtime in order to try and make extra money for everything.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hurry up and get that divorce. Sasha is no longer into you anymore, okay? So please give up that seat at his side already and let me sit there. Huh? I had thought cheating with him all this time would have gotten you to leave him by now. But you are not letting go of him even after seeing his faithlessness towards you. I get that you want to continue being the wife of a CEO, but that seat is meant for me now. So is this really who my husband has been cheating on me with? Abigail? So you've been the one sending him home after he gets out of work covered in kisses made with red lipstick. And you've been putting all those pictures of you two together in my mailbox each week. I know about you and him being a thing very well now. Well then, why have you not divorced him for me yet? You've seen all those pictures of him loving up on me, right? Sasha's into me now, and he won't be letting me go. I want to hurry this up and get married to him, and I want him to start calling me his wife. Is that so? But even after telling me things like that, it's not going to make me just hand him over to you. It's not as simple as you think for a married couple to just call it quits like that. Huh? All you have to do is sign the dang divorce papers and then hand them in. That is so easy that a baby can do it. When it comes to there being a divorce over one of the two being unfaithful, there are a lot of steps added to the process. We have to talk about how to split the properties and about the settlement that'll come after. You are such a parasite. So you've just been worried about his money all this time? This is why he doesn't want you to be his wife anymore. Excuse me? Sasha is always going on about it. He gets so upset about how much of a leech you are, and talks about how whenever he brought up wanting to separate, you'd freak out and do everything to keep him around you. But I'm telling you, all that work you put in trying to keep him with you was actually pushing him away even faster. What do you mean I'm a parasite? You're telling me that he's been talking about me that way this whole time? He's always calling you a parasite. He says you are like a leech, a tick, even a tapeworm at times. I mean, he's not wrong though, right? In order to never allow him to get rid of you, you hang on tight to his fur coat, right? You never seem to want to listen to him, and he's had enough of it. Unlike with you, he actually wants me to be around him, but he can't do that yet when you are still clinging onto his back. Huh? I'm sorry, Jenny. I know that you've given all your effort to stay attached, but it's not going to work when he is a cute and young girl ready to take you out. He told me that he's going to get rid of you once and for all and then let me climb on him instead. So now that you're aware of that, just give up on him and go find another person to latch on to. And by the way, Sasha's coming over to my place tonight to stay until you're gone. Hey, Sasha, we need to talk. I've heard that you've been calling me a parasite now, correct?
Huh? What are you talking about now? I have a lot going on right now as the CEO of a company. Right now I'm in the middle of a very important meeting, right?
What important meeting? I know that you're on a date with the girl you've been cheating on me with is all.
What?
I have been getting a lot of crap from that other woman of yours for a while now. But I guess that's only natural from someone who thinks it's all right to take a married man away from his wife. I'm sure you thought you'd be able to hide all these secret dates from me by saying you have to work and all that crap, but I've been aware of you for a while now. Honestly, I wasn't that upset then, but today I learned that you've been calling me the parasite in this relationship. I am not going to let any of that slide now.
Hey, wait. How long have you known about Abigail and I?
I think it's been a bit over a year now. And I was just texting with her a couple minutes ago. She had something very important to tell me. And that was that she wanted me to hurry up and get divorced from you. She really wants to marry you soon, so she's wanting me to rush now.
What?
Now let me talk with you about all of this. Do you really plan on divorcing me and then getting remarried to that woman you've been cheating with? We have been married for 7 years now and have been a couple for 10. You plan to crumple those 10 years with me up and throw them away?
What do you want me to say? I don't have any use for an old used-up hag like you anymore. Us men like to be around young and good-looking women all our lives, but I'm no exception to that.
Excuse me?
Also, you are the perfect example of a parasite. There's no merit to me being married to you any longer, and that's why I'm choosing to be with Abigail now.
What about me as a parasite to you, Sasha? I have been giving it my all to support you and your business by being at your side all this time as your wife.
Who cares about that? You're nothing like a wife to me, but rather a nasty little tick. I happen to have a company and loads of money at my disposal. And that's the only reason you've wanted to be so close to me, is so that you can get to all that money.
What?
I've been watching you work so hard for me, all in order to keep me from throwing you away. It's hilarious what lengths you've gone to as well. Not only will you help me with my business at times, but you do all the chores for me. When I get home, you give me those 2-hour massages I ask for, like you're afraid of losing me. You'll even go out in the middle of night to get food that I want from the store. I know that you've just been doing all that in order to stay on my skin, which means you're nothing more than a parasite to me.
You stop all that right now! You thought I was doing all of that stuff in order to keep me around you?
You sure were, weren't you? You know dang well that if I get rid of you, then you're doomed.
The reason I was doing all of that was in order to make you happy and keep our marriage life going. The reason I was giving you those messages and going out in the middle of the night to shop for you was all out of love. And the reason I did it all with a smile on my face is because if I looked upset about it, you'd flip. And then you'd go back to what you'd always told me in the past, and that is that if I didn't listen to the man of the house, you'd throw a fit, which you've done plenty of times now, like some spoiled child.
I have every right to throw a fit about it, though. I'm not going to just sit around and let a parasite get the better of me like that.
This is BS. I can see now that you have no room for discussion anymore. The only two responses I can get from you now is either calling me a parasite or getting upset with me over nothing. But I shouldn't be surprised by that since you already have another woman now.
Well, don't worry about me listening to you anymore, because this is over with. I don't need to have a parasite attached to me anymore, and Abigail has helped me realize that. And so, because of that, hurry up, get out of my face. And with this divorce, you got to give me back all those shares you got in my company.
What?
I gave you a whole lot of shares in my company in the past, right? You kept asking me over and over again to give them to you, so I did out of wanting to keep my own sanity. You're probably whining to me, so let you have some sort of parasite, right? You wanted to make sure you had something to do with my company financially, in order to keep me from kicking you to the curb. Well, it doesn't work that way, Jenny. They have nothing to do with you being my wife.
You're joking, right? Do you have any idea why I have shares in your company right now?
In order to keep me from getting rid of you, right? What a freaking brainless woman. Thinking that some shares in my company would make me more open to having you as a wife long term.
I'm done with this. Sasha, you and I are through. I'll sign those divorce papers for you right now. And I'll hand you back those shares and whatever else you want.
Finishing this up now will help me out a bunch. Abigail's become a real pain in my neck recently, going on and on about how she wants to get married. I just never thought she'd actually start texting you about all of it, but I guess that just shows, well, how much she loves me.
That's right, she really wants to become the wife of a CEO. But in return for me allowing this divorce, I'd like you to be ready to pay me the settlement I'll be asking for from you.
Sure. I'll pay you whatever you ask for. I'm a CEO, after all, so it won't even bother me to fork over that kind of cash. Unlike you parasites, I actually happen to be very well off.
Hearing that from you, I'm a little relieved. Well, I'm going to get in touch with my lawyer and talk this over, and I'll send you the details later. And once you've gone ahead and sent me that money that I've asked for, I'll hand in the divorce papers.
Sounds perfect. You know that I'll be agreeing to the amount you ask for, so go ahead and get ready to hand in those papers.
Thank you so much for getting that divorce, Jenny. Because of that today, Sasha and I were able to hand in our marriage forms. Congratulations on your marriage. But be careful about having an even younger and more cute woman than yourself coming up from behind and stealing him from you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to scare me by saying things like that. Sasha is so into me. There's no way on this big green earth that he would ever take his eyes off me for another woman. That's quite the confidence you have there. Now let's get to business. You've already divorced Sasha now, so hurry it up and get out of that house. We were just able to hand in our marriage forms, but not being able to live together in that house yet is a bit annoying. What? That house that you're still sitting in right now is going to be our house starting today, yet you're still sitting in there and not bothering to get out. I am the wife of a CEO now, so tell me why I should still have to live in my tiny little apartment to make room for you to be in that house with him. Get a move on and get out of my mansion. From what it sounds like, you haven't been told everything by Sasha just yet, have you? Huh? What else was he supposed to tell me? Stop it with all this stupid talk and get the hell out of my house. He's already thrown you away and chosen the younger and cuter me to have as his wife, so a loser like you needs to get out of my mansion right now. Is it really that hard for a parasite like you to find a new host? I've already gone and sold that house. Huh? So when it comes to me moving out, I'm already at my new place. You have no right to sit there and tell me to leave when that mansion is no longer in my possession. Since you don't even seem to have a clue what's going on, try talking to Sasha about it before coming to me again. Wait a second, please. The mansion's been sold? You sold my mansion? The mansion where I was supposed to be loved by Sasha in? If I remember correctly, that mansion was never yours or Sasha's to begin with. I was given that house in the settlement that came with the divorce, so it was mine before selling it. I have every right to sell whatever's mine, and I don't have to tell you a thing about it. Huh? What the hell do you mean you got that place with the settlement? I was never told any of this by Sasha. And that's why I want you to go and talk to him right now. I don't care to explain it to you, so ask him. But Sasha's a CEO, and he is way too busy every day to explain things to me. Unlike you, who has all the time in the world as a lowly parasite. Now, you tell me, what the hell is going on? Really? Sasha's been telling me about this the whole time. He said that the moment he gets rid of you, he and I are going to move into a nice mansion. He got me all excited about the new life we'd have together after getting married, but now you're going to tell me he gave that mansion to you in a settlement? No, there is no way. But there was a way. I get it. You're just trying to bully me now, huh? You think so? Settlements normally only include money in them, right? You getting the house in the settlement and then selling it without my approval? That's all been done by you as a way of harassing me and my husband. You are the most scummy and toxic woman on this planet. Would you stop going on about whatever stupid misunderstanding you have? I never wanted a mansion or anything in the settlement, to be honest. But he didn't have enough money otherwise, so I had to make do getting the place from him. So he gave me whatever money he did have and then gave me the house as well to sell. Huh? You're telling me that he didn't have enough money to pay you and had to give up his house as well? What the hell are you going on about? He's a CEO. He has all the money in the world in his pockets. He's always going on about how he has all this money saved up and it's so much we could buy an island with it. Saying things is pretty easy to do. But it's actually proving said things that can be quite difficult. And in this case, he has nothing in his savings. The company that he's running has been in the red for a long time now, and he's got a lot of debt. And because of that, the only things he could give me was his pocket change and the house. Huh? Hold on. He has $0 in his savings, and his company is in debt? What the hell do you mean? He's made himself look like a competent CEO in front of you, right? In the past, I suppose he was one, but things have changed since then. A lot has happened. After his company took off, the money got to his head and he started messing around too much. And when that was happening, he would force all his employees to do the most insane things for his company. And after all of them started to leave his company, he was left on his own to try and fix the now dying business he once had. What? A lot of his employees tried to talk with him on a serious level about what had been going on. But he would never listen to them, instead talking back in a more aggressive tone, giving them no choice but to quit. So because of all that, he is now barely running a company that's completely in the red. But he is still a CEO, so you understand that all kinds of companies have debt at some point, right? He should know how to handle all that, right? It would be crazy for him not to know what to do. Right when his company was on the verge of going bankrupt, I saved it. I have actually been a holder of quite a large number of shares in his company, so I happen to have some weight in his company. Are you serious? When I started to realize that he had turned into a psycho when it came to managing his company, I stepped in and bought a ton more shares in his company to keep it above water. And ever since the first time I bought those shares, I've been doing my best to keep things going there. But of course, since he has no idea what's going on with his own company and is just fooling around all the time, he doesn't really know that I've been behind the scenes running the operation. When I did bring up the fact that I have a large portion of the shares in his company, he just started to call me a parasite and said he gave those all to me. What? I had really tried so hard to help his company continue on, but recently some very crazy things happened, and due to that, well, his company is right back on the slippery slope to hell. And all due to the fact that the woman he was cheating on me with thought it would be funny to brag about how she's been with my husband, that I'm a parasite to him. Since that first time you texted me about all that, I've become really tired and don't bother with Sasha's company anymore. No! Honestly, it's so funny to watch how deep in the red his company is falling. Everyone he still had working with him now is left. I felt bad that they were all leaving without any kind of money for it, so I've been giving them a check from the money I gained after selling the mansion. A lot of these people have worked for Sasha for a long time and deserve a package. So I'll use the money from their CEO to do just that. That's why he has nothing left then? It's all either gone to me to pay for the settlement or it's gone to the banks? Did you know, though, that in the divorce, he also asked me to give back the shares I had? It was so hilarious watching him learn about what was really happening at his company. I was pissing myself as his smile faded to a blank stare at the wall. Jenny, do you have any idea how much debt his company is still in right now? If it's just a small amount, then he'll be able to fix things, no problem, right? I'm sure that if he put a little more effort into it, he could become a competent CEO again, right? As of right now, he owes $6 million. He never paid any attention to the debt he was getting into and continued to borrow more and more money. $6 million? No way. How the hell could he get that deep into debt? Congratulations on becoming the wife of a CEO. It's rare to see someone marry a CEO who's about to lose their company and be stuck with $6 million worth of debt. You must really love Sasha for the man he is then. Huh? What the hell do you mean? Do you think it's funny congratulating me for this? I am not messing around anymore. This is not at all the life I was expecting after marrying him. Well, I'm going to go now, all right? You can both do something about this yourselves, okay?
Hey, Jenny, why the hell did you tell her about the truth?
Wow, it's been a bit since I last heard you calling my name. Normally you just talk to me without ever saying my actual name to me.
Right now, none of that matters. I want to know why you told Abigail about everything. Because of you, something major is happening that's going to really screw things up for me.
Huh? Why are you blaming me for your BS now? I wasn't the one texting me about how I needed to hurry up and get out of the mansion. So I had to teach her everything that was actually going on since someone else forgot to. It's your fault for not telling her the truth about yourself sooner, right?
I have no reason to be telling her things like that, though. She was looking forward to moving into a mansion this whole time. She'd go out every day and buy furniture that she thought would look good in the place. We talked for days and days about how we'd have the mansion set up and decorated. Yet during all her excitement, you went and told her you took the house and sold it.
I also made sure to tell her about your failing business. I'm sure she'd want to run away from a CEO who's in debt by millions and soon won't even have a company anymore.
Seriously? Why would you do this to me? She's running around right now, getting all her things together to leave me, and she's getting ready to go out that door. It's only a matter of time. If this really does spell the end for us being a couple, it'll be all your fault.
I don't give a crap, you jackass. This is what you get for fooling around with other women when you were supposed to focus on your company. And let's be honest, you only have one chance to get her to like you again, and that's by fixing your company's situation and making all that money back.
But all of that's your fault. You were the one that allowed my employees to leave the company without ever telling me. I went back into the office for the first time this year. There are only 2 people in there working.
And if you were to put a bit of effort into it and get that company back on its feet, then more people would want to work for you again. This is your time to show that you are a competent CEO. You're going to have to start stepping up your game if you want to impress those cute young women around you. Hey, Jenny, you are the worst. You give me the money from the mansion you sold right now. Jesus frickin' Christ. The only reason I married Sasha is because I thought he'd be this super rich, good-looking CEO that I could ride on. But to learn that he's in terrible debt, he scammed me. He said there'd be a mansion for me and everything, but all of it's nowhere to be found. So I'm going to divorce him now and get the money I deserve from him. I was lied to and made the victim here, so I have the right to his money. That's true. He sure did lie to you about how he had all this money in his savings and everything. I can't say you're wrong for saying that he scammed you. I totally understand why you want to get a settlement from him. I'm sure you do. I have the right to get money because of all this. But you shouldn't be asking for that money from me. I think you're very wrong asking me for my money. Huh? How the hell am I supposed to get money from someone who doesn't have any? He doesn't have a house, a car, or any money now. So I would like you to give me some of that money you received for selling the mansion. So after stealing my husband, you want to take my money? You really are a bold little frick, aren't you? Shut up and just give me the money. You all are the worst people ever. I never thought that Sasha was that kind of horrible man. I even ended up ending the lease on my apartment thinking that I'd be moving into a huge house with him. Oh, you ended your lease? Well, then the both of you are more similar than I thought. You both now live homeless with no money to spare. I am not going to listen to you talking to me like that. Well, then turn off your phone. I'm telling you right now that I am nothing like him because I still have money. I did end up quitting my job, though, thinking I'd have myself a sugar daddy. But before I quit, I was working all the time and saving up. Wow, so you are a bit more serious about yourself than I thought. I happen to have $30,000 right now. It's amazing for someone in their early 20s to have that kind of money in savings, right? That is pretty amazing. But all that money is going to be coming to me now, right? So in the end, you and Sasha are very much alike. You both won't have a house or any money. What? I have to pay you? I still haven't gotten any money from you yet in that settlement. It was all your fault that my life with my husband ended up falling apart, right? So you're going to have to be responsible for what you've done. What? I'm sorry for making you get on your high horse there, bragging about your money. I really didn't know you had that kind of money on you. But it sure does make me feel happy knowing you do indeed have the money for me. I might not be getting the full amount I was going to ask for from you, but $30,000 will do. You're lying. Wait a sec. You already got money from both the house you sold and his pocket change, right? Yet you still want more money? That money was from Sasha, and I still would like my share from you. You both have to be responsible for your screw-ups. No way, that's not okay. I already got rid of my apartment, and I don't have a job anymore. And now you're going to steal all of my savings? I'm not stealing anything from you. I just happen to have the right to your money is all. Now I would like you to start getting that money in order for when my lawyer contacts you. I was nice in letting you have my husband, right? So as a thank you for that, I'd like you to send me a present. Right after that, I went and spoke to my lawyer, letting him know that Abigail did indeed have the money for me and that I'd like $30,000 from her. I got a call soon after from her, screaming and crying in my ear, so I handed the phone over to my lawyer and let him have a word with her. And after a few hours, in one large transfer, I got all the money I had asked for. According to some rumors I've heard, Sasha was not going to let Abigail get away in a divorce, and made sure to drag him into his horrible situation of having to try and save his dead company. But in the end, those last two employees of his quit, and the company was just left to those two. However, even with all the effort they put into trying to keep things going, they only sank deeper and deeper into the red. As of right now, I've heard that those two are still trying to fix things, but in order to do so, they have both had to stay in that office 24 hours a day, and are pretty much making it their home. When it comes to myself, I've taken all the money from both settlements and the house I sold and started a business of my own. I learned through Sasha's company that I was actually quite good at managing a business and thought this would be the perfect next step for me. I've already started hiring some of the people that used to work for Sasha. And I feel if things go well for me this year, I can start to live life as a CEO myself.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.